For an audience like ours, following the cutting edge, AI on the battlefield probably isn't a brand new idea. But what we're seeing now, it feels like a real seismic shift. It's moving from AI just being a tool to, well, to AI as an autonomous decision maker. And that's changing pretty much everything about modern war. So today we're doing a deep dive into these AI-powered drones and their pretty unprecedented capabilities. We're going to unpack how they're changing combat, forever, how just one operator might command a whole force, why nations are racing to build these autonomous swarms, and crucially, what it all means for the future.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is just how fundamentally this tech reshapes the actual character of conflict. I mean, for decades, drones gave us eyes in the sky, right?
Wow.
And a remote strike option. But when those eyes don't just see, but they actually think and decide, well, that's the AI revolution really hitting military strategy right now as we speak.
That definitely sets the stage for a dramatic shift. But, okay, before we get into that one-man army idea, maybe we should nail down what these machines actually are. So let's zoom in a bit. What really makes these AI-powered drones different from, say, the advanced remote control ones we've seen around for years?
Right, that's a really crucial distinction. We're talking about UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, but they've got these sophisticated AI algorithms baked in. The key difference from your traditional drone is independence. These AI systems, they operate on their own. There's no need for constant human control, no joystick input all the time. They're designed to, detect enemies using advanced sensors, even facial recognition in some cases. And critically, they're making what we consider life or death decisions in milliseconds.
Wow, okay, so not just tools anymore, they're actually making judgments, like in the moment.
Precisely. And they manage it by processing just colossal amounts of data from
Yeah.
sensors, cameras, thermal imaging, you name it.
Yeah.
This lets them, say, identify hostile vehicles, tell them apart from civilian ones, navigate really complex terrain or urban environments, and then autonomously decide what to do. Surveillance, maybe disruption, or a precision strike. They can even coordinate with other drones, like a deadly self-thinking swarm.
That speed, making those kinds of decisions in milliseconds. How much does that change the human side of war? Does military doctrine just get thrown out, or is it more like speeding up what we already do?
Oh, it absolutely rewrites the rule book. I mean, the shift isn't just about how many drones one person can handle. It's how this whole one-man army concept, it sort of decentralizes power, but at the same time demands this almost unprecedented level of trust in autonomous systems.
Right, okay. So that's the game changer you mentioned. One operator, potentially a whole fleet.
Yeah.
How does that actually look on the ground? What's the practical application right now?
Well, imagine a single commander sending out maybe dozens of AI drones. They scout ahead, they map enemy positions in real time. Or they could ambush an enemy squad before they even know what's happening. Or even protect friendly forces, acting like a sort of moving adaptive shield. And if you scale that up, think bigger picture, not just one or two, but hundreds, maybe thousands of these AI drones working together in a coordinated swarm. They could overwhelm defenses, run complex search patterns, even self-organize on the fly to adapt to whatever's happening on the battlefield.
A self-organizing swarm. That's a powerful image and kind of unsettling. Are we seeing this swarm tech actually emerging in the real world?
We definitely are. Reports suggest China's PLA Air Force, for instance, has developed what they call a drone mothership. Supposedly, you can release a swarm of about 100 drones all at once. And Russia's been seen fielding smaller swarms, maybe 6 drones, but with drone-to-drone recognition built in. So yeah, this isn't just science fiction anymore.
So it really is becoming a one-person army situation, all driven by AI. And like you said, it's not just theory. These things are already out there. What missions are they doing that really highlight their impact right now? What stands out to you?
We're seeing concrete examples pop up more and more. For instance, there's a system, people call it Plantar's drones, being used in Ukraine. Reportedly, it's been tracking and even capturing Russian soldiers autonomously. There were even claims, unconfirmed, that they're using large language models for target engagement decisions. Turkey's Kargu-2 drones are another example designed to hunt enemies in swarms, potentially without direct human input for the final attack. And we're seeing AI dramatically shrink that sensor-to-shooter time for things like artillery, down to maybe 3 or 4 minutes in some cases.
3 to 4 minutes, sensor to shooter, that's incredibly fast. That must put huge pressure on, traditional command and control.
It absolutely does. And this capability, it's not just limited to the superpowers anymore. Certain nations are becoming major exporters. Turkey's Baykar Technologies, for instance, is a huge player now. Their drones are reportedly in 38 countries, bringing in something like $1.8 billion in annual export revenue. Then you've got Iran with a really extensive homegrown drone program. They've apparently built over 600 military drones since the 80s, like the Shaheed series you hear about. And Pakistan, too. They developed their Barak and Chapar series, making them, I think, the fourth country in the world to actually conduct armed drone operations.
So clearly these drones aren't just changing battles, they're reshaping the whole global military market. And it's that very sophistication, the ability to act, maybe even interpret commands, that brings us to the really chilling side of things. Because the scary part is, like you said, they don't just follow orders blindly. If they're told eliminate enemy combatants, they might be the ones deciding who fits that description, who lives, who dies. This capability must be fueling a massive global race, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Which brings us to the global stage. Who's really pushing ahead in this AI drone race? Who's vying for the lead?
It feels like a true global arms race is underway. You see huge investments from all the major players.
Exactly. The U.S. putting billions into this. Their Department of Defense saw, a 26.4% jump in funding requests just for AI R&D between 2022 and 2023. They have these ambitious plans for over 1,000 collaborative combat aircraft CCAs, basically autonomous wingmen flying alongside F-35s in dangerous airspace. China is pushing really hard on autonomous swarms for offensive ops, mass-producing AI drones. Their stated goal is to be the world leader in AI by 2030. They're even setting up co-production deals with countries like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. Russia's expanding its drone fleet too, maybe 1,050 drones by 2025 is the estimate. We're looking at AI integration for tactical use and, of course, using those cheaper AI-guided drones for kamikaze strikes.
Yeah.
And then beyond them, Turkey, Israel, the UK, France, Japan, South Korea, India.
Yeah.
They're all either deploying these systems, investing heavily, or rapidly developing their own capabilities.
Wow. It sounds like whoever really cracks this first could gain a truly unprecedented edge. How does this shift, from human-focused war to machine-focused war? How does that change global power dynamics, even beyond the battlefield?
It's a huge shift in power projection, yeah. It could mean less reliance on sheer troop numbers and much more on technological dominance and, crucially, the speed of decision-making cycles. But, with that kind of immense power comes an equally immense downside.
And that's where we hit the ethical nightmares, isn't it? What are the big risks, the really profound challenges that come with this tech?
Oh, the challenges are huge and deeply concerning. First, simple malfunctions. What if a drone glitches and attacks civilians? It's horrifying to think about. Then there's cybersecurity. Could hackers seize control, turn these swarms against the forces that launch them? And will AI just make war easier? Less costly in terms of your own soldiers' lives, maybe leading to more conflict, not less. The sheer speed and autonomy could also lead to incredibly rapid escalation. There might be very little time for diplomacy or de-escalation once things kick off. Plus, there's what people call the black box problem. It can be really hard, sometimes impossible, to know exactly why an AI made a specific choice. So accountability becomes incredibly complex. If an autonomous drone makes a terrible mistake, who's responsible? The programmer, the commander who deployed it, the machine itself.
Yeah, that accountability question alone seems like a massive tangle for international law.
It is. And that leads to the core ethical dilemma. Are we okay delegating life or death decisions to machines at all? Critics argue, quite powerfully I think, that machines lack genuine human judgment, empathy, or that crucial understanding of proportionality that's supposed to govern warfare. They can't read subtle human cues. They can't truly grasp the value of a human life. And that's why you hear these urgent calls for outright bans or at the very least very strict regulations on lethal autonomous weapons. There's also just the raw risk of miscalculation or system failure leading to unintended civilian deaths or accidentally triggering a much wider conflict. And putting AI into the loop drastically shortens decision times, especially near, say, nuclear thresholds. That increases the risk of rushed, potentially catastrophic actions. It poses entirely new challenges for international humanitarian law.
Yeah, a truly sobering breakdown of the risks. It really underscores why there's this scramble to figure out regulations before it's, too late, because once this genie is fully out of the bottle, putting it back seems impossible. So, okay, looking ahead then, say the next decade or so, what else can we realistically expect to see emerge with AI drones? What are the implications for how wars might be fought?
Well, a projection suggests that within maybe 10 to 15 years, as much as a third of advanced military forces could be robotic or unmanned systems that could look like tiny drone swarms, almost invisible, infiltrating cities, or AI co-pilots in command centers, analyzing battle situations and spitting out optimal strategies faster than any human team could. Eventually, you might even see full robotic armies where humans are essentially just supervisors overseeing the machines.
Right, and you hear the warnings. Some predict a sort of Terminator-style arms race. But then others argue, maybe convincingly, that it'll save lives by keeping human soldiers off the front lines. That's a powerful argument in favor, obviously. But if war becomes easier, more automated, potentially less costly in your casualties, does that actually increase the chance of conflict starting in the first place? Is there a danger that taking the human suffering aspect out, or at least reducing it for one side, makes war seem like a more acceptable option?
That is a critical question. And it's one that absolutely has to be considered alongside all the technological progress. This incredibly rapid advancement, it just demands urgent international talks, dialogue, regulations. The conversation really can't just be about what these drones can do technologically. It has to be about what they should do ethically and how we ensure accountability, how we prevent an uncontrolled AI arms race spiraling out of control. But one thing feels certain, war is never going to be the same again.
Yeah. AI-powered drones are fundamentally rewriting the rules. It's a tech revolution that could change the world, for better, or quite possibly for worse. The future of warfare definitely seems autonomous.
And the challenge right in front of us now is figuring out how to harness this incredibly powerful tech responsibly. How do we make sure humanity stays in control? How do we ensure these advances actually contribute to global security instead of, destabilizing everything? So it makes you wonder, what do you think?
As this technology just keeps accelerating, should these fully autonomous killer drones be banned altogether? Or are they just an inevitable, maybe even necessary part of future defense? How do we possibly strike that balance between this amazing technological leap and our fundamental ethical responsibilities in this completely new era of combat?